Hi, everybody. I'm Bryan Mudd, a fan of South Plains politics. Here's your talking points for this week. Happy teachers all over Texas. The legislature's sending all of them a pay raise in the state's budget, but we'll explain why Lubbock ISD teachers are even happier than most.
I'm Anna Warnicki in Washington. Congress says help is on the way to the towns and communities dealing with the humanitarian crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border. I'll have those details coming up.
From the studios of KMAC Television in Lubbock, your local election headquarters. This is Talking Points with Bryan Mudd, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Services.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Also this week, the spoils of victory. We've talked about how politicians try to take good advantage of political victories, but it's hard to imagine any person or business with bigger wins to talk about than Texas Tech, and not just baseball, basketball, track, and meat judging. A sort of celebration in Lubbock and Amarillo to talk about the first steps that will now be taken to begin the process of getting that vet school off the drawing board and into reality. In the end, all of this has been an exercise in what can still be done politically with the will and donations of a lot of people.
We had the facts on our side, we had the relationships on our side, and the stars aligned, and it was a great success for this session.
I think it set in motion things that kids going forward have hopes and dreams that weren't available prior to this session now going forward.
The groundbreaking for the new veterinary college will be in September, with a plan to begin classes in 2021. It takes that long to build the buildings and build the curriculum. That's being done with the help of a lot of regional vets who deal with the problems this school will eventually fix. But the only way to really understand all of that is not from politicians, but from the people and the animals on the ground. And our Jason Whiteley offers a fantastic look at that.
I got a Charlotte back here, Bill. That's pretty sick.
Cowboys are getting harder to find in West Texas.
Pretty sick, Bill.
At this feedlot in Lubbock,
Get in that corner over there. Nice and easy, Bill.
Tony Madrano and his partner keep an eye on 25,000 head of cattle.
Bingo. Perfect. Good job.
They had spotted a sick calf that a pen rider's getting ready to pull out of the pen, so we can get him out of the pen and get him up to the hospital to be treated.
That is Dr. Kenan Sturgis, a veterinarian, which is almost as rare around these parts.
There's going to be a fair amount of noise with the hydraulics.
Dr. Sturgis has to drive almost 2 hours from his clinic just to keep this herd healthy.
We can see that he's got some discharge out of his nose, and so he's showing a little bit of sickness.
That's because Texas faces a growing shortage of rural veterinarians.
We don't get anybody to apply. The last time we hired somebody 3 years ago, we had 3 applications, and we advertised in 6 states.
Turns out most young vets remain in urban areas. But perhaps the more obvious problem, Texas A&M is the only veterinary school in the state.
How does a state as big as Texas only have one veterinary school?
I'm not into politics so very much, so I don't know how to answer that.
Listen to this. In Texas, it is easier to get into medical school than veterinary school.
Absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, how many medical schools do we have in Texas? I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I know it's quite a few. And I know we only have one vet school. Oh, good boy.
Weston Cleveland is applying at A&M while working here at Live Oak Animal Hospital in Lubbock.
We've had students this year, 3 or 4 this year, that were qualified students that didn't get into Texas A&M for whatever reason. I would hire them tomorrow if they chose to come back here, and they're going to have to go out of state and pay out-of-state tuition.
Simply put, it creates a brain drain.
We have one of the best institutions in the country, but it can only supply about 25% of the new workforce every year. So the state has outgrown what any one institution can provide by many-fold over.
Last week, Texas lawmakers appear to have finally fixed it, allocating $17 million for Texas Tech to start a second vet school.
The feeding industry here was set up to establish.
One that Dr. Guy Lonergan will become the dean of.
We have a construction budget of $90 million, and all of that money has been raised primarily around the Amarillo area, but it's been raised from non-state sources.
Tech isn't copying A&M. It's letting local clinics help create curriculum, hoping to eventually graduate a pipeline of new vets willing to remain in rural areas.
I think I got another one, Bill.
Where plenty of work
There's a cripple one.
is waiting. In Lubbock, I'm Jason Whiteley.
All right, Jason, thank you. And we're thrilled, as always, to get to spend a few minutes with Texas Tech President Dr. Lawrence Skuvenik. I feel like we need to have a standing ovation, pop some champagne after the vet school and everything else. Did it feel a little bit like that when the budget got signed and we knew we were rocking and rolling?
It did. You know, the Chancellor has referred to this as probably the most significant session we've had in 50 years when you look at what the system achieved in getting the dental school and the vet school, the support for the mental health initiative, and Angelo State did very well. It's a fabulous time, and I don't think it's hyperbole to say it was a historic session.
Oh, I think definitely, and something we'll keep talking about, keep coming back to for years to come. Talk to me about some of the work behind the scenes and what really goes in, and you can probably say a little more now that we're finished, but just to get this happen and get all this to the finish line.
It really begins with our legislative appropriation request early in the fall when we lay out our priorities. And something we did differently this year is we had one priority for every component. The dental school, for us it was the vet school. And when we were in Austin through these past few months, those were the things we focused on. And one thing that Chancellor Mitchell did differently this year is he had the presidents there much more than we've been in the past. He made mention the other day at a press conference that we were there for 48 days. We actually shared an apartment. That was kind of a weird experience.
I can imagine.
We're all too
but
old.
necessary, you're there so much,
Yeah,
right?
we're all too old to have roommates. It was all hands on deck. Bob Duncan was very helpful, Kent Hance and the government relations people, and we kept the conversation to the facts, and we let the need for our vet school, for the dental school, speak for itself, but we didn't engage in some of the rhetoric that became political.
So next is approval from the Higher Education Board. Talk about the timeline for that process and what still has to be done there to get over
So we submitted a degree program proposal in February. We've received feedback from the coordinating board on several occasions asking for a clarification of certain issues. They enlisted a group to do an external review, and they'll be getting that report. I would hope that by late summer, early fall, we'll be getting some decision from the coordinating board. But let's be honest here. When the people speak, and by the people, I mean the House and the Senate, with the support of the governor, the lieutenant governor, and the speaker, I think that sends a strong message of what the state needs.
Right, and it's just going to be curriculum and dotting I's and that sort of thing.
And beyond the coordinating board, we are, of course, working with the AVMA, the American Veterans Medical Association, to go through the accreditation process.
Awesome. Easy to look past this, but you mentioned already, because of the vet school, our minds were kind of focused there, but what's the timeline now for the dental school project in El Paso?
Well, I should let Rick Lang answer that. That has, you know, kind of like the vet school. They had funding in the last biennium, just as we did, and rather than convey some inaccurate information, I don't exactly know when that will
Sooner
occur.
rather than later.
Oh, but yes.
Yeah.
In fact, they're ahead of us in terms of moving forward with that dental school.
The Mental Health Institute over at the Health Sciences Center is going to be a big deal too?
So that actually will support an initiative that began about a year ago when we hired Keno McQuinney, who reports shortly to the Chancellor Mitchell and to me. It's a collaborative effort, first to make an assessment of all the resources we have that can bear upon the issues of mental health. Now with that money, they'll be moving forward. A lot of focus on adolescents and military veterans.
Perfect. You know, with all of that, do you even start yet thinking about even more longer-term projects now? What moves to the drawing board at Texas Tech now that we put a check mark by some of these other things?
Well, we met with our new chairman of the Board of Facilities about a month ago, and we have a revised master plan for the university that's going to include a lot of facilities. There's some new buildings that are going to go up. We're going to finish the experimental science building, the Mason Theater. We have to address some issues in the School of Music as it relates to accreditation. We have plans to build a new academic sciences building right there behind chemistry. It'll be about an $80–90 million project. Moving engineering into Holden Hall, and the list goes on. we're tearing down the Coliseum.
Yeah.
And we just made a decision this week on how we're going to renovate that space to provide green space for the fall football season.
Nice.
And then make a few decisions in the long term that might be a dorm for athletics and students or some other needs that we haven't yet identified.
Speaking of, can we just get the athletic program off the ground? They're just terrible these days.
Right.
You know?
If they would carry their load.
I know. It just would be nice.
It's been an amazing run. And we were in Omaha last night. Yeah. And what's really neat is Coach Wells was there, Coach Beard was there, along with Kirby, our athletic director. Everybody is so supportive of one another. It's been a great run. Let's just see where it ends.
Fun. Maybe something fun this fall, too. Dr. Lawrence Kubin. Good to see you again, my
Thank
friend.
you very much. Thank you.
And let's do this week's poll question. Are you happy with the changes in the public school finance system made by the state legislature? Some are already saying that there's more that should have been done there or that it's not sustainable. Talk to us on our KMAC News Facebook page and on everythinglubbock.com. Click on Talking Points. Give us your opinion on that. And coming up, two of Lubbock's biggest recent news stories lead to a pair of important laws in the legislative session. And the re-election campaign begins for Texas Senator John Cornyn. He's asking for more help at the border and asking for more civics classes